So a year ago, I did a video called How I Would Have Done Day of the Departed, one of the most hated Ninjago products. Now, while I may say that, I by no means believe Day of the Departed was terrible. The purpose of it was exactly the purpose of the show, and that was to sell toys. I actually own a couple of those sets though, I really do love them, but regardless, Day of the Departed could have worked as a special or a short season, just as much as the 4-episode seasons we have now, like March of the Oni, and I'm not counting the island because that one sucked. Now, over the past year, though, I have constructed an actual pitch for my Day of the Departed because that video was just me rambling on about this idea that I had for a new Day of the Departed, but I had a lot of plot holes in there, and though my pitch now still has some plot holes in there, they're not as big and they can all be explained. So no cookie cutter. My name is SW Nation, and without further ado, let's get right into my pitch. Now, a few house cleaning rules though. While I am doing this, I have not written episodes for this pitch. I just have plot points and character motives as well as villains. Since we got the house rules taken care of, let's get into it. So my Day of the Departed starts off pretty much the same, but instead we actually showed them defeating a previous villain from a previous season that I will name drop later. And then after that, the ninja race to the museum to get a tour showing us the Hall of Villains. I think it would be a great idea to have one of the Time Twins statue just in the background, or a Time Twins reference dropped by Dr. Saunders to tease him being a villain, but also the next season. The villains I will include will be the same: Samukai, Kozu, Chen, Moro, Cryptor, Pythor, and Yang. The plot consists of these old villains returning to settle their debts, and also Yang's dwelling, and also everything that's going on with Cole wanting to become human, but also Yang wanting to become a human. Now, what we know of our ninja is that Cole is a ghost and is currently fading away, and that this eclipse could be the way for him to return as a human. I wanted the season to be consisted of 10 episodes and 22 minutes, but I think it works better as a 6-part event. So the question is then brought up, why is the eclipse lasting longer than one night? The days are actually night because in my remake, when Yang initiates his plan with the Yin blade, the eclipse lasts longer, and also with Cole using it. So in the museum, Cole gets the Yin blade, and in my version, I think it would be illogical for the actual blade to sit in an open museum that everyone could just walk through and easily break through the glass just as much as Cole could have done. And also, I'm going to keep the plot point the same. With him fading away, I think that could be an interesting dilemma going forward with the plot. So obviously, the actual blade is not in the museum. That one is a fake by Dr. Saunders. Cole is the reason the older villains return due to his selfishness and anger, which in his case is perfectly understandable. If you were a ghost and you lived on a planet where 50% of it is liquid, I would want to take this opportunity to try to become a human too. So I can perfectly understand his anxiousness and his anger trying to settle his debt with Yang to become a human again. Now, Yang has the cursed souls of our past villains. Now, because I know these questions will come out just like they did on the last video. Pythor was redeemed. How come he's a villain again? Pythor is a villain again because of the fact that Yang has his cursed soul. So while he's inside of the museum, just like in the original, he tries to take the staff. The cursed soul hits Pythor instead. So instead of him being a statue, it's actually Pythor. His cursed soul has just taken over him. So I feel like that would make more sense for him to be cursed or to be mind controlled rather than him just, hey, I want to be evil for the day. Oh well, let me go kill Lloyd. Even though he already had his redemptive arc. Same goes for Moro. I feel like Moro shouldn't have to be redeemed, but if there is a reason for him to be redeemed inside of the season, I think we could do that. So the villains are dead. They retain all their memories from past lives. They're just clouded by anger and revenge. Hence why they are evil, because all of their souls have been damned essentially. Now, because Yang cannot leave the temple and is cursed to haunt it, he bargains with Cole to find the real Yin blade in exchange for his mortality. So we have the conflict here. Obviously, Cole is fading away as the days go by, but he has to go find his Yin blade for Sensei Yang. Now, in my version, the team early on should know what's at stake here in the second episodes when the villains return for revenge. Each individual villain goes after each ninja but are beaten. but are not defeated because they are ghosts. And while their bodies are solid, their spirits can still roam as long as the eclipse is going on. This then makes for a fun battle with all of the villains versus the ninja somewhere down the line. Now during the middle episodes, I think there should be 2 teams, and in my version, Skylar should get involved in the fight along with Dara and Ronan against her father again. So Cole, Wu, Lloyd, and Zane, I think all of them would go travel to find the Yin Blade with, some ghost with some villain on their tail, maybe Moro. And then Jay, Kai, Skylar, and Neo will protect the city here with Dareth and Ronan. And I also think that it'd be fun to have the entire team, excluding Skylar, Dareth, and Ronan and Wu, turn into ghosts. And by the end, them and Yang students will need to go through the rift to become human again, leaving only enough room for one person. The dilemma that is put in place in the original. Now, obviously, thanks to his RX form, this is where everything kind of falls in line in place with the original. Cole destroying the Yin Blade will send all of the cursed souls back into where they came from, and also it will fade away Sensei Yang, because Sensei Yang's big problem here is that he's fading as well. So they both are fading. It's like an Arkham City type of thing where Batman and Joker are both dying, but Joker goes about it some way, Batman goes about it another way. I like that idea. And I think we could add some nice little tension in there with Cole watching Yang fade away as the rift is slowly closing. And it ends with him using his air jitsu, flying through the rift, just barely making it there. And he becomes human again. And that's where he gets his scar. So that is my pitch for Day of the Departed. In my version, it would air on October 2016. Approximately 3 to 4 months after Skybound, and it will air for 2 weeks and 3 days out of the week. Technically, it wouldn't be a season; it would kind of be like an event. But I definitely believe that some of us Ninjago fans would have called it a season. The first episode will start off with the team defeating Klaus, who is a ghost and a harbinger for Yang. And I like the idea of bringing Klaus back in there because he is a ghost, and also we needed to get finished with him from season 6. And I think episode 2 will be about research after the ninja find out why the villains are returning. And I think 3 through 5 would be about the quest, and 6 would be the big finale with all of the villains together and just the big showdown ever. Honestly, I think this pitch has potential. Each player has a motive. The villains, Yang and Cole. The team gets involved because they have an emotional connection to the villains besides Jay. And I think incorporating Skylar and Klaus makes this world feel huge. And Dareth and Ronan will have parts to play essentially the same, but larger, especially for Ronan's case. So that was my pitch for Day of the Departed. Please comment down below, what did you think of it? And comment down below your own pitch for Day of the Departed. I love making these types of videos, and it's always fun to make because it just gets the creative juices flowing for me. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter. The link is always in the description. And also don't forget to check out that Ninjago playlist that's going to pop up on your screen right now. I tried to put this out on Halloween. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Happy Halloween, everyone. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all next time. Peace.
He did the Monster Mash.